Can you imagine packing your bags and completely changing your life to start a new chapter in a place where you can get land for free or at a nearly symbolic cost? It may sound like a fantasy, but reality surpasses fiction. There are corners of the world eager to attract people with ideas, a desire to start anew, and a passion for revitalizing communities that are emptying out. Today, I'll take you on a journey that promises fulfilled dreams and unprecedented opportunities. Join me on this adventure to discover how 9 incredible destinations are ready to offer you the key to a new life. As we go along, it gets even more exciting because some of the top spots are all from the same country. Want to know which one? Let's dive in. Number 9. Gormaz, Soria, Spain. Now, let's travel to the heart of the Iberian Peninsula, to Soria province, to discover a municipality that feels like it's straight out of a history book. Gormaz. Its imposing castle dominates the horizon, standing as the largest fortress of caliphal origin in Europe. The Castilian landscape shines in all its splendor, with plains and hills dotted with holm oaks and junipers, painting an almost cinematic scene. However, this historically significant land suffers from such dramatic depopulation that it's willing to offer properties at astonishingly low prices. In Gormaz, old houses have appeared for as little as 5,000 or 10,000 euros. That said, most require extensive renovations. Some local programs, along with subsidies from the Castilla y León regional government or even the central government, have offered grants for restoring homes in rural areas. This is the call of Empty Spain, which sees immense cultural and natural value in these villages, but urgently needs new blood to prevent the closure of schools, medical clinics, and local businesses. Life in Gormaz is a song to tranquility. Walks around the castle, hiking in the surroundings, and stargazing under a sky impossible to see in the city. Time seems to stand still as the old stone streets whisper tales of centuries past. For those seeking a radical change, here's a real chance to acquire a piece of history at a very low cost. Plus, visionary entrepreneurs could start cultural tourism or ecotourism businesses, leveraging the castle's monumentality and the region's natural wealth. Of course, it's not all a bed of roses. Limitations in services are evident. Limited educational offerings, regional health centers, and the need to travel to Soria's capital for major errands. Winter is also challenging, with harsh cold on the Castilian plateau. Still, some brave souls have ventured to revive this magical place and found a lifestyle that starkly contrasts with the fast pace of other regions. Living in Gormaz means joining a small community that values local events and direct interaction with historical heritage. There's nothing like watching the sunset from the fortress's heights, remembering that centuries ago, these walls withstood army sieges, and now they await with hope those who want to be part of their new story. For many, the idea of owning a home near Gormaz is appealing not only for the low cost, but also for the intimate connection forged with local culture. From Soria's cuisine, with its sausages and hearty stews, to the chance to grow your own garden in an almost pollution-free environment, Gormaz offers more than just a piece of land. It provides the opportunity to belong to a centuries-old history seeking new protagonists to avoid fading away. Number 8. Ottenstein, Germany. We leave Spain to venture into northwest Germany, in the Lower Saxony region, where Ottenstein lies. This enclave, surrounded by lush forests and green fields, maintains a deeply rooted rural tradition. Its fame stems from a critical moment of depopulation when it offered free or nearly free land to families with children willing to build a home and settle there permanently. The initiative aimed to bolster the young population, keep schools open, and revive local businesses. It's an incredible opportunity. But Ottenstein isn't just a village in the middle of nowhere. It's reasonably close to larger urban centers like Hanover, allowing relatively quick access to advanced services, hospitals, universities, and job opportunities. Local residents value the connection with nature, traditional festivals, and the characteristic order of German culture. The region fosters a strong sense of community, with neighbors gathering for municipal events, seasonal fairs, and various celebrations throughout the year. For those receiving one of these plots, the main challenge is complying with strict construction regulations. Germany is known for its energy efficiency, so building a home haphazardly won't do. Regulations require adherence to thermal insulation and sustainability standards. Additionally, taxes and associated costs in Germany can be higher than in other European countries. The benefit, however, is a high quality of life, impeccable roads, modern public services, and a top-tier healthcare system. Ottenstein and other Lower Saxony villages seek families who bring dynamism, children to fill classrooms, and professionals to develop new businesses, from organic farms to local craft workshops. The landscape is idyllic, with gentle hills and hiking trails that attract tourists from across the country. The adventure of moving to Ottenstein involves learning or improving your German, integrating into local customs, and adapting to a temperate summer but cold winter climate, with frequent autumn fogs that envelop the area in an almost fairy tale-like atmosphere. The downside? It's not easy to qualify for the program without meeting family criteria or proving financial stability. Plus, rural life in Germany, while highly organized, can feel lonely for those coming from cosmopolitan cities. Still, more than one family has found their dream home here, where children grow up in green fields and a safe environment, while parents benefit from proximity to major cities. The unexpected twist of Ottenstein is that it offers free land, yes, but also the chance to immerse yourself in a society that values punctuality, well-being, and community. For some, it's the best of both worlds. For others, it's a cultural adaptation challenge. In any case, the possibility of owning your own home on German soil without crippling land costs is something few would have imagined decades ago. Number 7. Marne, Iowa, United States. We leave Europe to return to the American continent, landing in the heart of the U.S. Midwest in Iowa, where a small town called Marne is desperately trying to revitalize its population. Surrounded by vast corn and soybean fields typical of the region, Marne has gained fame for its rural hospitality and the fact that, in exchange for building within a set time frame, you can acquire a plot of land for free in a peaceful setting. In Marne, life moves slowly, the air feels clean, and families know each other by name. This place has seen many of its young people leave for opportunities in larger cities, leaving empty houses and increasingly quiet streets. To avoid total decline, the local government took direct action, free plots with the condition of building a suitable home and living there. Who benefits? Families dreaming of a spacious, single-family home with room for a garden or even a vegetable patch, without paying for the land. Naturally, applicants must cover construction costs and prove they have a viable project. Marne's main appeal is its sense of safety and the chance to enjoy typical events like agricultural fairs, community meals, and seasonal festivals celebrating the harvest. However, don't underestimate the harsh Midwest winters, which bring heavy snow and very low temperatures. Plus, the distance from major urban centers means you'll need to travel several miles for specialized services or errands. Those moving here must get used to driving long distances, as public transportation is nearly non-existent. On the other hand, the cost of living is relatively low. Groceries, gas, and utilities are generally more affordable than in coastal U.S. areas. Iowa is known for its agricultural production, which can open business or job opportunities for those who know how to tap into the sector. Internet and telecommunications have improved in rural areas, though not always with the same reliability as in big cities, something to consider if you plan to work remotely from Marne. The most unique aspect of this free land offer is the expectation that you start construction within a limited time frame, usually 1 or 2 years, to prevent the town from stagnating. You must demonstrate financial solvency and commitment to the community. For some, this is a fair price for a calmer future, far from urban stress and insecurity. For others, adapting to such a distinctly rural lifestyle can feel overwhelming. Marne wants people eager to join the region, greet neighbors on walks, and work together to keep the town alive. Number 6. Mankato, Kansas, United States. We continue in the U.S. Midwest, arriving at another iconic town offering free lots, Mankato, located in northern Kansas. This community has long been trying to halt its population decline by offering the chance to build your home without paying for the land. Imagine a plot ready for you to construct your dream house without budgeting for the land purchase. The almost bucolic rural setting, surrounded by vast plains and seemingly endless skies, is a draw for those yearning for clean air and tranquility. Mankato's economy relies mainly on agriculture and small businesses. Local schools need children to justify staying open, and this has become an incentive for the town, which aims to attract young families. While single people or retirees aren't excluded, the main goal is to strengthen the social fabric with new residents who invest in the community and shop locally. The program typically requires construction to begin within a year, with minimum house size requirements and zoning rules to ensure aesthetic and urban uniformity. Mankato's advantages are clear: less noise pollution, starry skies every night, neighborhoods where people greet each other, and a strong culture of mutual support. Plus, entrepreneurs can find opportunities in the service sector, as supply is limited, but internal demand persists. Remote work is also an option, provided you verify internet connectivity quality. Living here means getting used to regular trips for specialized shopping or healthcare, as driving to larger cities is common. The main challenge lies in adapting to the region's continental climate. Winters can be harsh, with snowstorms and roads that sometimes close or become difficult to navigate. However, spring and summer bring popular festivals, agricultural fairs, and a convivial atmosphere that makes the town stand out. Mankato's free land program is especially appealing when paired with the idea of a single-family home with a large garden, the chance to grow your own vegetables, and a much calmer lifestyle than in major U.S. cities. There are also downsides to consider. Job opportunities outside agriculture are limited, and the community isn't always equipped to offer every type of service. Likewise, the local government carefully reviews applications to ensure new settlers are genuine and won't disappear after acquiring the land. In Mankato, there's a promise of freedom, but also a pact of commitment. For some, it's the perfect chance to start fresh in a place where community life still holds great value, where kids can run safely in the streets, and where you can build a home to your liking, tailored to your future plans and budget. Number 5. Lincoln, Kansas, United States. We stay in Kansas to explore another municipality that has opted for the generous tactic of offering free residential lots. Lincoln. This town, whose population has dwindled over the years, now seeks to revive its economic activity through new residents. If you dream of a neighborhood of low-rise houses, vegetable gardens, a safe environment, and the chance to quickly integrate into a community, Lincoln might catch your attention. The Free Land Project aims to attract families, seeking new residents who build homes with certain minimum standards, but with the freedom to design them to their taste. In return, residents commit to staying and contributing to local life. Lincoln is known for its friendly atmosphere and the closeness it offers among neighbors. People greet each other on the street and help in times of need, a deeply rooted tradition in many Midwest towns. Local businesses also appreciate new consumers who boost the economy. The cost of living in Lincoln can be attractive for those coming from big cities. Basic services, electricity, and water have reasonable rates, and taxes are generally lower than in urban U.S. areas. However, job opportunities are closely tied to agriculture, livestock, and essential services like education, healthcare, or auto mechanics. Internet connectivity, while improved, still doesn't match big city levels, so if you plan to work remotely, it's wise to check coverage thoroughly. Daily life in Lincoln revolves around community events celebrating harvests, livestock fairs, or school activities. Summer evenings are perfect for barbecues and neighborhood gatherings, while winter paints the landscape white and life moves indoors to homes and municipal buildings. The commitment for those receiving free land isn't just building a house, but also integrating into the social dynamic. This is vital to revitalize a place desperate for more children in its schools, more customers in its small shops, and more subscribers at the local library. The main hurdle, once again, is transportation. Being in a distinctly rural area, getting to medical centers or major universities requires a private vehicle and several miles of travel. However, for those longing to connect with nature, build close friendships, and live without urban hustle, Lincoln offers a treasure. The experience of owning your own land and designing your home can more than make up for the distance and cold winters. Plus, the town reviews applicants' proposals, favoring those showing the most commitment and solvency to ensure the initiative meets its goal, bringing fresh air to a town that refuses to vanish. Number 4. Curtis, Nebraska, United States. Now we jump to Nebraska, in the central U.S., to meet the small town of Curtis. Here, the landscape stretches with vast plains and pristine skies, reflecting the essence of the American Midwest. Curtis decided to offer free lots for single-family home construction to attract families and new residents who participate in local life and prevent the closure of community services like schools and health centers. But why would anyone want to move to Curtis? The tranquility, low cost of living, and the chance to build a home without paying for the land are compelling reasons. The program typically requires starting construction within a specific time frame and a commitment to stay. Those who meet the conditions can access favorable mortgages, and local authorities aim to make the process as smooth as possible to entice people from other states or even abroad. The local economy relies on agriculture and livestock, with job opportunities in sectors like education, healthcare, and municipal services. Daily life can be very different from big cities. There's a cooperative, neighborly atmosphere and participation in festivals celebrating rural life. Livestock fairs, rodeos, and summer events in the main park are part of Curtis's cultural identity, where people still gather to chat and catch up on local news. That said, living in Curtis means getting used to cold winters with snowfalls that can make travel challenging. The lack of urban entertainment options can also be a hurdle for those seeking a fast-paced lifestyle. To counter this, many families join community projects, book clubs, or organize to keep the social fabric alive with dinners and charity events. What's interesting about Curtis is that, behind its apparent tranquility, lies the opportunity to launch entrepreneurial projects. Some families have opened small businesses meeting regional needs, from bakeries to repair shops or rural tourism activities. Service costs are generally lower than in larger cities, and housing, without the land purchase expense, significantly reduces the total investment. That's the big hook: direct city assistance and the promise of a more affordable future in a family-friendly, safe environment. Those choosing Curtis should know the community values everyone's effort, collaboration in schools, and ideas that contribute to local prosperity. This is the real trade-off for receiving free land, being part of a development strategy to ensure a future for a place that doesn't want to lose its rural essence or disappear from the map. If you're willing to trade the frenetic urban life for calm, space, and a starry sky every night, Curtis might welcome you with open arms. Number 3. Pitcairn Island, British Overseas Territory in the Pacific. We leave North America for a radical leap to one of the most remote places on Earth, Pitcairn Island, a British overseas territory in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Reaching this piece of land means immersing yourself in an isolated setting with barely 50 inhabitants, most descendants of the famous HMS Bounty mutineers. Why does Pitcairn offer free land? To avoid complete demographic extinction. Over the years, many have left, leaving a handful of residents on an island that relies almost entirely on self-sufficiency and scarce external supplies. The offer of free plots is real, but the hidden cost isn't money. It's adapting to a demanding lifestyle. Pitcairn is only accessible by boat, usually from Mangareva in French Polynesia, with trips scheduled periodically and heavily dependent on weather conditions. Once on the island, new residents must build their homes following local regulations and prove they have enough funds to sustain themselves while integrating. The island lacks major medical infrastructure, banks, or spontaneous trips to a supermarket, as supplies arrive sporadically. Residents live off agriculture, fishing, and crafts sold to the few tourists who venture there. Electricity comes from generators and solar panels, and every drop of water is treasured. Despite the challenges, Pitcairn boasts spectacular attractions: pristine beaches, caves, crystal-clear waters perfect for diving, and an absolute peace that feels like stepping back in time. Sunsets are postcard-worthy, and the small community is close-knit and collaborative. The big question is whether you could handle the isolation of one of the world's most remote places. Entertainment options are limited, healthcare access can be critical in emergencies, and for many, the lack of constant contact with the outside world feels overwhelming. Still, for truly adventurous spirits, the idea of owning a plot on Pitcairn and joining its unique history can be irresistible. It's living in a place that has inspired novels and tales, where nature reigns and life adjusts to the tides and farming cycles. The Free Land Initiative is an invitation to share the responsibility of sustaining the community. They value professionals or people with useful skills, from medicine to construction. The goal is to improve quality of life while preserving the local culture, which carries the legacy of the bounty mutineers as a badge of identity. It's no exaggeration to say Pitcairn is the ultimate destination for escaping civilization as we know it and embracing an almost primal existence in harmony with a natural setting of indescribable beauty. It's not for everyone, but for the brave soul who tries, Pitcairn promises a profound existential change. Number 2. Pipestone, Manitoba, Canada. We return to the American continent, this time to the cold lands of Manitoba, Canada, where Pipestone emerges as a municipality determined to attract new residents. With its population steadily declining, local authorities decided to offer plots of land for as little as $8 plus subsidies of up to $25,000 for those who build a home or start a business. The goal is to revive the local economy and strengthen the community. Pipestone's charm lies in its open landscapes, with fields of grains, canola, and livestock. Winters are harsh, with sub-zero temperatures for much of the year, but spring and summer offer unparalleled natural beauty, vibrant skies, nearby lakes, and areas perfect for fishing and wildlife observation. Rural life in this part of Canada means valuing community and mutual support, though you'll need a vehicle for nearly any trip. For those who successfully apply to the program, building a home in Pipestone can be less costly thanks to the offered subsidy, which helps cover initial expenses. However, applicants must commit to building within a set time frame and show the seriousness of their proposal. Generally, they value rootedness, a willingness to stay, and plans to generate local economic activity. Due to its distance from major cities, Pipestone lacks a wide variety of shops, so an entrepreneur with innovative ideas could find a market niche. The cost of living is generally lower than in big Canadian cities like Toronto or Vancouver. Taxes are modest, and housing, once built, offers space and tranquility. Still, the extreme climate requires preparation, proper winter gear, heating, and the ability to handle snow and ice for months. Yet, the community spirit shines in these conditions. People organize to clear snow, exchange supplies, and build bonds that often go beyond mere neighborliness. By the way, we've created the only travel guide that compiles proven strategies to optimize your budget, manage visas, learn about residency options, and seize job and cultural opportunities abroad. With 7 volumes packed with practical tips and nearly 400 pages, it costs less than a Starbucks coffee. Hurry, because in a few days, the price will more than double. There's more info in the community post, and I'll leave the link below. Pipestone seeks diverse profiles, from young families wanting a safe place to raise their kids to couples seeking a peaceful retirement, or entrepreneurs ready to open small shops or farms. The main challenge is understanding that free land comes with responsibility. Those who move must commit to the community's development. For some, Pipestone is a hidden gem, a chance to build a life in Canada with very low initial costs. For others, the harsh winters and distance from big cities can be a tough barrier. Ultimately, Pipestone exemplifies how rural regions fight to stay alive, offering great opportunities in exchange for enthusiasm and a willingness to be part of a story still being written. Number 1. Molise, Italy. Our journey ends in southern Italy, in the Molise region, considered the newest gem in population revitalization initiatives. Molise made headlines when it announced it would offer new residents a monthly stipend of 700 to 800 euros for 3 years, provided they start a business or contribute to the local economy. Rather than offering free land outright, Molise focuses on a financial incentive that covers part of living expenses and encourages entrepreneurship. The requirement? Live in a village with fewer than 2,000 inhabitants. Commit to maintaining an economic project, and stay in the area for at least 5 years. Molise is one of Italy's least populated regions, with tiny villages scattered among mountains, hills, and a coastal strip along the Adriatic Sea. Its capital, Campobasso, is a small, tranquil urban center. The climate varies: cold winters in the mountains and mild summers on the coast. Depopulation has become a serious issue, with silent streets, empty schools, and family businesses closing due to a lack of generational succession. Yet, Molise has immense cultural and tourism potential, with castles, ancient festivals, and irresistible cuisine featuring sausages, cheeses like caciocavallo, and delicious truffles. Opportunities for entrepreneurs are varied, starting a bed and breakfast, opening a cafe, farming, creating artisanal product shops, or attracting international tourists seeking an undiscovered corner of Italy. Housing costs in some villages can be symbolic, as low as €1, though the homes often need renovations. You can also find properties for 10,000 or 20,000 euros in good condition, depending on location and state of repair. The monthly financial incentive is a strong draw, but it's not enough to simply move. A solid business plan is required, along with proof of contributing to the local economy and being an active community member. The language barrier can also be a factor if you don't speak Italian. Life in a southern Italian village can seem idyllic for outsiders seeking tranquility and dreamy landscapes, but it requires patience to adapt to local rhythms and customs. Still, those who've taken the plunge say the warmth of the Molise people, the beauty of the natural surroundings, and the cultural richness make the experience worthwhile. In Molise, you'll discover villages almost frozen in time, weekly markets with fresh produce, and neighbors eager to welcome newcomers. The 5-year commitment is a pact to revitalize the area, nurture its economy, and keep the flame of traditions alive. It's a unique opportunity to receive financial aid while building a life surrounded by cultural and historical heritage that pulses in every ancient stone. That's the essence of the number 1 spot. Molise, an Italian land that refuses to empty out and is ready to welcome those who bring passion, work, and new ideas. Now that you've explored this array of possibilities, I invite you to imagine what your life would be like if you decided to settle in one of these places. Perhaps you envision a blooming garden next to a rural cottage, or a thriving business in a community eager for new ideas. Maybe you see yourself watching the sunset on a remote island, feeling the raw power of nature. Whatever it may be, the world is full of unexpected opportunities waiting for those daring enough to change the course of their days. If you enjoyed discovering these destinations and want more content about surprising places, don't forget to like and subscribe. That way, we'll stay connected in this adventure of exploring the unexplored and chasing dreams that are sometimes closer than we think.